In today's video, we are going to be looking at a tool called Rotate Plan. It is the digital equivalent of putting your hand on a piece of paper on your desk and just rotating it slightly. You know, we all know it's easier that, especially if you're right-handed, to have a certain angle to draw at, and that's what this does, except you're not drawing, you're using tools like the line tool and the rectangle tool that very strongly prefer and are easier to use if you are perpendicular to the horizontal axis or to the vertical axis. So this is a real site plan. I have a sketched plan on the desk next to me with the site survey underneath it, so I'm just starting to flesh it out, looking at the existing trees and how to kind of plot these radial beds and the pathways and so on. But as you can see, there are quite a few different angles, so it's often useful to be able to rotate the plan and line up my drawing with things, especially let's say this courtyard. So if I wanted to rotate the plan so that everything was parallel to this wall, what I will be doing is using this tool, which is up here on the upper toolbar. Below it is a manual box into which you can just type the number of degrees, but frankly the button is much more useful. 0, if I just reset it, I had done a previous recording of this and blathered on and decided to restart it, so I had already rotated it. 0 is how it is when you bring in your drawings from the surveyor or from the architect. So if I click this button, and let's say we will move this glazed kitchen window so that it becomes the horizontal. So I click once and you'll see I have this kind of compass type thing. I'm going to zoom in, make sure that I'm snapped onto the line, so I'm not just guessing it and hoping that it's right, just using my middle mouse wheel, make sure I'm zoomed in, click again, and now when I zoom out you'll see that that line is now the horizontal line. If I get my rectangle tool up, shortcut key is 4, and draw, you'll see that that is snapped onto that line. It makes it much easier to use. There is obviously this tool which allows you to draw rectangles on an angle, but whilst you're drawing you cannot see an accurate representation of the length and the height. So for me, I find that really annoying. I would much rather use this Rotate Plan tool. As another example, this vegetable bed here outside the guest quarters. So I click this button, I go one click on the line and move along the line. I can only move, you know, I don't have to go all the way over here. I could just move, you know, an inch this way. Click it again, and that now becomes the horizontal, and we can see that these are all lined up perfectly. So yes, the Rotate Plan tool is incredibly useful. Use it as you work around your site methodically, and it really unlocks the power of the rectangle and the line tool in particular, but also the polyline tool, the straight line option of the polyline tool, for example. When you've got your angle snapping on, you'll just be able to snap to those, you know, 90 degrees, 60, 45 and so on as you can normally. Hope that helps. Let us know how you get on with it and if you have any questions.